Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of Art to Heart podcast. This is the weekly series where I connect with you all with a beautiful quote every week. So, for today's topic, we have how to master the art of mindfulness. Yesterday, during my weekly newsletter, I wrote a newsletter about how to find calm in your busy world because I had a trouble this week because of the low starts in my video, maybe something with the algorithm, or maybe I would have done better. So during this conversation with myself, I came to realize like how much I get weighed by the number. Despite of reading in one of Fast and Clan book where he talk about why can't we just avoid seeing the numbers for a moment of time, just publish the work which we are doing. Eventually, we will either improve ourselves by learning from the mistake, or we can do the best what we can and let it flow, and we just have to focus on improving our skills rather than focus on the stats or algorithms or so this leads to making this today's podcast, which is how to master the art of mindfulness. So I'm your host Rena, and I'm so thrilled to have you all with me today. So let's just dive into understanding what is mindfulness is all about. Mindfulness is a practice that's had such a profound impact on everyone's life, and I also can't wait to share a few of the benefit which I have implemented and I was able to see the difference. And so, how are we going to ask this question, like why mindfulness? You might be asking yourself how being present and attentive can make a real difference. Well, mindfulness offers a range of benefit that can lead to greater success and fulfillment in both personal and professional areas. So today we are going to explore a few of the benefit of mindfulness and how can we practice during our day, and how can we contribute to be more successful and balanced in life. We'll be taking you through 10 benefits of a mindfulness, starting off with improved focus and concentration. One of the biggest benefit of mindfulness is enhanced focus. When you practice yourself being present, you train your brain to stay on task and avoid distraction. This can be incredibly helpful in boosting productivity and achieving your goals. Like I mentioned about the week newsletter where I talk about finding calmness in busy world. As we are constantly devoted by the numbers, constantly devoted by notifications, constantly devoted by looking what others have done, the gratification of one's existence has just merely disappeared. It's very difficult to find in today's scenario. So this first bit of benefit where we talk about improving focus and concentration, like I think this is one of the part of ADHD, where you start with something but you end up doing everything altogether. I think into today each of us may be having something in us which will eventually not let us accomplish what we want to accomplish. That's we talk about how we can do this focus concentration for a period of time, and then we finish our work, set aside a time for yourself, like even to make any of the illustration, even to keep even 10 minutes for your artwork, even though you don't have to finish everything at one go, but rather you can put this simple line and then you can come back together for the unfinished artwork. So in today's illustration, I thought of not doing the regular where I do a lot of bit, but just drawing few stroke of line, filling this line, eventually make this great illustration. And I find it fascinating how you can just simply by sitting yourself idle and just taking few steps just by the thought, like okay, I'll give full stroke of line and it will create a masterpiece at the end of the illustration. So something to always take about, like through this canvas, our life is just a blank like it. We just have to add those few strike, a few colors, few buildings, a few monuments, and eventually it will create us into this magnificent life as we sit back and evolve ourselves. The second benefit of mindfulness is it actually reduces your stress. Mindfulness helps lower cortisol levels, the hormone associated with stress. By being mindful, you can manage stress more effectively, leading to calmer and more balanced life. For example, on a Monday, morning you have all this to-do list in your journal, and then you're like, oh my gosh, where should I start this? That leave you to a stress. You won't be able to complete the task 1, you won't be able to reach to the task 10, but rather just taking the deep breath and letting one step at a time, it will eventually make all your to-do lists come to an end. For example, I think few of them have this habit where you get really stressed even if you have a dentist appointment, or you get really stressed even if you have to go to your parents teacher meeting, and then you eventually won't be doing anything for the rest of the day because you're focused so much on the event is which about to happen. But rather you should just, because it's going to be at 4 in the evening, you don't have to worry about majority of the thing. The first half of the morning we have already wasted stressing about the thing which is going to happen in evening. So one step at a time, like in your journal, if you have this step 1, I have to finish reading 1 page of the book, read that book without even focusing of the point 7 where you have to visit your dental visit. So reducing your stress eventually make you be present at the moment and create that scenario around you where you feel at calm and being mindful at the same time. Benefit and number 3 is you would be able to make a better decision. One, you would already be focused and concentrated, and second, you might have reduced your stress. Third, you that would lead you to the third benefit, which is making better decision. So you will be self-aware of how you can improve your decision, because mindfulness allows you to approach decision with a clearer perspective, making choice based on what's truly important rather than on impulse or stress. I am victim of taking decision on impulse or being stressed, because I think the stress where it comes due to the holiday season, like, oh, okay, your cart is going to be very soon be running out of the product which you have uploaded, right? Those type of time, like you are either a quick shopper or you are either someone who takes a little bit more decision to buy, and eventually that would have led you not to buy your favorite product. So those things, right? Making decision just solely for the purpose of making the best outcome of your life, taking that moment of stress away, taking that moment of agitation, and just focusing on, okay, I want to pursue this, I will focus on this, and I will develop myself in this, even though you don't have perfect plan ahead. Because most of the time when we look at successful people, we just think like, oh, they started somewhere and now they have all this bigger acquisition around them, but eventually they all started just like us with no idea of what's going to be, but they definitely had one certain goal to just focus on that moment and do that thing which they have to do, and that has eventually led them to achieve whatever they have achieved in future. Benefit number 4, enhanced emotional resilience. Regular mindfulness practice can help you handle emotional challenges with greater ease. It encourages a balanced approach to your feelings, allowing you to respond to situation with a greater calm and resilience. Emotional resilience is something which we all should have in us, because as a woman speaking from this side, we do have PMS. We have so much thing. Our mood swing is just uneven over the period of time for a time cycle, for our cycle of those movement. But at the same time, not letting those things affect our emotional resilience, right? We just being control of emotions, saying no, it's okay, this too shall pass. We don't have to do any impulse buy, we don't have to just not do the thing which we are doing, but rather just let it go for this moment of time and develop the greater aspect of what we actually want to do. So I think a lot of time we are waved through those emotions, we are just a emotional being at the end of the day, and we all take decision at the very wrong time. And for that thing, always want everyone to, whoever is listening, to implement this emotional resilience. I think out of all the benefits, this is something we all have to develop in ourselves through mindfulness, just being present at the moment, not thinking about the future, not thinking of the past, just the present moment, and how is it going to affect tomorrow rather than 10 years. So take control of your mind, take control of everything of yourself. Another thing is emotion. Once you are completely immersed in your mindfulness, you will definitely develop the stronger emotions in you, which will help you to become the person you actually want to become. Oh, I will add few more benefits since I have spoken about five of the benefit. I'll have four of the benefit. I'll have few more attached to it. One, it will definitely help our increase in creativity. Mindfulness can boost your creativity by reducing mental clutter and opening up space for new ideas. When you are not bogged down by distractions, you can think more clearly and creatively. This is something I have experienced myself when I have went through this emotional coaster in my life, and where I felt like there is no other thing rather than just focusing on building up my emotion resilience and getting back to whatever I actually enjoy doing. For the creative mind side, like every one of us who is listening is a part of art community, some or the other way we love enjoying illustration. And I think to have that decluttered mind, to have that clear understanding of taking that pen and putting that color on canvas. Today I may be talking with you saying, yeah, just go ahead, take a canvas, start painting. That's not how it works. That's why we have this mindful podcast here where I talk from art to heart, because it's truly connected to our heart and mind, and how we are not able to achieve without those clear decisions and declutter mind, and that understanding where we feel like, okay, we have to be in this scenario to paint whatever we have to paint. One more is definitely it will help you become self-awareness about yourself, because mindfulness foster a deeper understanding of yourself by observing your thoughts and feeling without judgment. You gain insight into your behavior and motivation, which can lead to personal growth. Once you have started practicing by being present at the moment, by doing what you really have to do rather than being stressed of what you're going to do in next 10 hours, you will eventually finish all the five to-do list and then go to the sixth one for your dental appointment without getting stressed, without losing focus on your class, on your work, on your regular day-to-day activities. You would finish your exercise, you would run for a marathon, you would take up your class, you will finish your work, you will have an artwork in your hand. By the time everything is done, you will be sitting at your dental office. Take you back through the benefits what we have just spoken about. We talk about how mindfulness help our focus and concentration. It reduces our stress, which helps us in making better decision, and also it helps in enhancing our emotional resilience, and that would lead to increase in creativity, and we will be greater self-aware of ourselves or what we actually want to do. So these are something mindfulness actually help about. I've talked in depth in my newsletter also. I'll make sure to leave the link in the Q card and also in the description. You can definitely go ahead and have a read if you're someone who loves to read rather than listening to podcasts. And of course, how are you going to start reaping this benefit? There are a few practical tips which will actually help you to integrate your daily life, and you can actually see benefit through it. One is to start with your breathing. I think this is something we all have understand about, like, okay, we have to take this deep breath and all this thing, but you just have to let this few minutes of each day focus just solely on your breathing, how it's going to be. Then you have to practice mindful eating. As someone who was very heavy and then started taking a right step in focusing on my health and build up my diet and worked on my weights, and eventually I happen to be a better healthy person. I'm not promoting certain body types or anything here. Just eating what you really want to eat is up to you, but at the same time, just consider what you want, what you're eating. So what is practicing mindful eating is when you eat, take time to savor each bite. Notice the texture, flavor, aroma of your food. This can enhance your dining experience, help you eat more mindfully. As a ex-corporate employee, I'm someone who have ate all three times of the meal in office just rather than focusing on anything else. I'll be in a meeting chewing my sandwich. I'll be in a meeting drinking, sipping on a cup of coffee. I'll be in the meeting and eating my dinner, just slurping on my soup. I don't know what I'm eating, and that eventually led me to be more stressed than ever before. And that's when I decided, no, this is not burnout. This is actually not what I really want to enjoy in my life. And third is my favorite thing, try mindful walking. I'm someone who loves to walk. I really enjoy going out walking for a long time, even though it may not be outside, but definitely I love to do this. And the last one is incorporate mindfulness into daily tasks, whether you're washing dishes or driving. Use this moment as opportunity to practice mindfulness. Focus on the task at hand and be fully present in the experience. Don't let your brain wander over the past or the future. Just let it be present at that moment. Like I said, focus on the blank canvas. Add the color you like, whether it be curvy, whether it be in circle, whether it be in line, just add in whatever way you want to be. By the end of 20 minutes, you will have a masterpiece like this in your iPad or in your tablet or even in your canvas. Remember, mindfulness is a journey and it's okay to take one step at a time. Be patient with yourself and approach your practice with curiosity and kindness. Thank you so much for joining on today's podcast. It was such an insight for me to share whatever I have learned, and I hope even if it meant for changing one person's life, I am so happy today. I hope this episode was helpful and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. See you all tomorrow.